Hello and welcome to D93 News.
We are now just a week away from the May election, and we'll have a preview of the candidates running in Zone 3 a little later in our newscast.
Our top story this week comes from Bridgewater, where an after-school program has really taken off thanks to a partnership with the University of Idaho.
These kids are playing with Legos after school, but this is about more than just fun and games. They are actually using code to bring these Legos to life.
You put the frog together, and then you can put this is the motor, and you can put it in and it hops.
The response at Bridgewater has been incredible. In fact, they are looking to add on to the program because there is so much demand.
The hope is to get more of these youth involved in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. We have a need for youth to go into these types of careers, and so if I can start them at a young age and get them interested in that kind of stuff, then hopefully they'll go into those types of careers.
And these students love being able to channel their imagination one Lego brick at a time.
I have experienced a lot, and that it seems a lot of fun. It makes me use my imagination.
Now, speaking of construction, it's that time of year again. Orange road cones and barrels have already started sprouting up almost as fast as the dandelions in Sam's yard.
Thanks, Bill. The biggest road project this summer is along I-15. Multiple projects have already started along a 140-mile stretch that passes through eastern Idaho. Dan Harrelson, project manager with the ITD, says these projects are important.
I-15 was built through Idaho in the 1960s and 70s. Over the years, the Transportation Department has routinely repaired the pavement, but even with this routine maintenance, the pavement has reached the end of its life. It's time to invest in a new surface.
Now, ITD has developed a smartphone app just for updates on I-15. You can also find these updates on their website. I spoke with our transportation manager, Karen Judy, about this, and she encourages parents to be patient, as it could take a little longer for our students to get back from activities that require long travel along I-15.
That's a good advice there. Now, they'll be resurfacing some of the bridges on I-15, but a much anticipated bridge replacement here in D93 is nearing completion. The Pine Basin Bridge is almost finished. Old Castle teamed up with HK Contractors, the Bonneville Power Administrations, and Bryant Green Concrete to replace the bridge to the entrance of Pine Basin. The existing bridge was condemned in the fall of 2016. The bridge serves as the only access for the popular boys and girls camp and is a valuable access to many electrical systems running through the area that connect to Victor, Driggs, and Swan Valley. You can find Pine Basin registration packet information on our website. Well, April was Autism Awareness Month, and downtown Idaho Falls held a special fundraiser to raise money for the autism programs in D93. And we tagged along with them on Monday as they handed out the checks at Discovery and Mountain Valley. The downtown merchants recently held a fundraiser during
Autism Awareness Week
to help students with autism in D93 schools.
Well, I would say the downtown merchants are very passionate about the community, and a lot of what they're doing is to help keep Idaho Falls unique and charming. And I think that between Mala, myself, and the folks downtown, I think this is definitely a priority, and they care.
Monday, they dropped off the checks.
I am really excited about this. I wasn't expecting anything like this, so to get this much recognition for what we did as a class and as a school is pretty awesome.
It's amazing. There's so many resources that we need for our kids, and to be able to have people support us and know how much we need is amazing. And
it feels really good, and it just means that we can support these guys so much more.
It is so appreciated, and I can't tell you what it's like to know that people are recognizing what we do and that it really is appreciated.
And that appreciation stretched from the principal's office.
Oh, it's very heartwarming. Nothing like seeing all of our kids that need help getting the help that they need.
All the way to the classrooms.
Thank you!
Now, as we mentioned at the top of the newscast, Election Day is now just a week away. We caught up with the two candidates running in Zone 3 in a special edition of D93 Election Headquarters.
So I've been in the district for about 15 years. Recently moved into Zone 3 about 5 years ago. Shortly after moving in, I became PTO president. There we raised a ton of funds to help with technology, putting books in the library, and I've loved it ever since. It piqued my interest to be able to run for the school board.
Nicholas and his wife Casey have been married since 2002. They have 5 children and a baby girl on the way. Nick has a background in human resources, and he says he has already put together a list of priorities for D93.
I really want more funding for the special needs programs. I think we're doing a great job right now, but that can always be expanded. And I know that people within Zone 3 have reached out and said, are you going to help with the special needs? Because it seems like when money gets tight, that's some of the first things to be cut. Also, we do have a huge growth, and these schools, whether elementary or middle schools, need to be built, but we also need to remember that there's maintenance on some of these. Falls Valley, the student drop-off section is right there with the buses, and it is a nightmare to try to get your kids safely into the school. Looking at that, seeing if we can put in kind of a semicircle or doing some sort of expansion to improve that is really important.
Nicholas says he will be loyal to the patrons of Zone 3, and he'll work with the other members of the board to help the district facilitate growth, not just in his zone, but throughout the district.
As a school board member, you represent a zone, and you represent that zone for a reason, because Bridgewater and Falls Valley fall under Zone 3, and it's important for me as a school board member to know what their needs are. Again, it's a whole picture. You have to look at the growth, and Bridgewater and Falls Valley aren't really growing as fast as like Discovery and those. So you still need to keep that in mind, and that's why we have a school board, of 5 members that can have those discussions. But we each need to bring up the topics and what's most important to our zone, and that's why we represent this Zone 3 in the school board.
You can learn more about Nicholas on his Facebook page.
Chad Dance, and we've lived in the district since 1981. We've raised our family here in the district, and we have grandchildren here. I'm a banker by profession, and just try to be active in the community and what's going on, and happy to be part of the district.
Active in the community, and doesn't get more active than being on the school board. Why did you decide to run for school board?
Well, I just I was asked about it when Brian left the board, so I just thought it might be something that I would enjoy, and I could put the time into it and give back to the community and give back to the district, and so I decided to go for it.
Chad says he has learned a lot since joining the board a few months ago, and he hopes to continue it.
I've been very impressed with the board members that are on, and very impressed with the administration. I've been impressed with how open they've been with me, and this is a steep learning curve, and I am learning a lot. And with my background, I'd like to get more into the finances and the budgeting, and really try to figure out the sources and uses of funds for the district, and watch out for the patrons' needs. And I think that's my role. Do what's right for the students, but watch out for the patrons, and keep their interest in mind, and just do our best to make the right decisions.
Chad and his wife Deanna have 7 children, and all of them have attended D93 schools. Chad is the senior vice president of the Bank of Commerce, and he says facilitating growth is critical for the district moving forward.
There's no question that we need to build some schools, and whether we do elementary or middle school or what, we've got to find a place for the kids to educate them, and we need to find a way to do it so that we help the kids and make it affordable for the patrons. And I mean, that's a big concern of mine. What can the patrons afford, and what will they vote for? But growth is certainly our biggest challenge, as I see it, and I think as a board and as a administration, we're just going to have to find a solution.
Now, Miss Idaho Falls, Janine Killian, visited students at Discovery on Monday. Janine was promoting her platform, One Life, One Body, One Chance. She has been going to area schools and teaching kids physical education and talking about health. Principal Marlowe says the students always look forward to visits like this.
Yeah, it's exciting for our students to have any kind of celebrity here at the school, especially ones that are interested in reading and some of the things that we're doing here. And so it's been exciting. It's been fun.
Now we have a couple of updates to tell you about. First, that world record attempt over at Mountain Valley. Well, they have submitted that to Guinness, and it's over 10,100 feet, all in the name of autism awareness. Now, it took about 4 hours this weekend to take that chain down. Here's the kicker. That news story that you watch here on D93 News and on Local News 8, well, that was also shared by the BBC in England, which means people around the world saw Mountain Valley's world record.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Now, another update. Food Services has narrowed down their favorites from their test kitchen. Rocky Mountain students loved the pesto chicken sandwich, and Discovery students said the baked pears were their favorite. The other favorites were the Hawaiian chicken wrap, the taco cup, and the new flavor of refried beans.
So good. I love the test kitchen over with our Food Services. Now, as tasty as those delicacies were, there was one visitor at Discovery who probably wasn't too impressed. That's because he prefers a diet of dried meat and processed roots. Of course, we're talking about the Mountain Man, who shared his way of living with students from Discovery and Iona. Now, this Mountain Man adopted his throwback lifestyle during his teenage years.
Now, a little earlier, we were talking about world records. We certainly aren't experts on this, but Hardy Lopez may have set a world record in the 400. The Bonneville senior race passed his competitors with a pace we hadn't seen before. Here's the thing. This was the first time he ran the 400.
Usually I run the 1 and the 2, but I was like, it's my senior year. Gotta try a new race. So.
And you liked it? Oh. He's a little exhausted.
Amazing. Yeah. Another Bonneville Bee is taking her skills to the next level. Madeline Hendricks signed her letter of intent to join Porterville College JC in California on Friday.
My sister plays there for softball as well, so she goes down and play. So I'll get to see her too.
So you're familiar with the program?
Yeah, that's pretty excited.
Now, Porterville, California is located between Bakersfield and Fresno. The mascot of Porterville College is the Pirates.
Arr. Arr. We'll see you next time on D93 News.